What's up? Happy Wednesday. This episode of the Daily Live Fishing Show is brought to you live from my dining room table. The hammer. So let's get started today. I have been told by commenters recently, far and wide, that I need to stay in my lane, bro. Let's just talk fishing, nothing else. All right, let's talk fishing and nothing else. Absolutely nothing but fishing at all. Zero. I have notes from the boss, who is resting comfortably in a nearby location, watching what's going on. She's in charge of keeping me on the straight and narrow. Which I'm going to tell you, even though all of you may think that I'm already on the straight and narrow, I can't imagine that's an easy job for her. I like that fun, much as the next person. You know, this hat really isn't broken in yet. Takes a little while. Really appreciate the advance warning. Thank you. Vance Jones, good morning. How's the ice today? I don't know. All right, let's not get into that. Last night, I put out a flyer on Instagram, on Facebook. We did a reel. We did some stories. And that flyer is announcing the Ice Bowl. The Ice Bowl is the ice fishing event that I'm doing in Super Bowl weekend. It's Saturday night. Super Bowl Sunday is the next day. It's Saturday night, February 11th from 5 to 9 p.m. at the Pier Restaurant in Brewerton. If you're none familiar with the Pier, we held our double live event there. A good friend of mine, Chuck, owns the place. It's a beautiful venue. It's not an open working restaurant. They do, what do they do there? Weddings, parties, receptions, that kind of thing. Staying in your lane. Stephen, they're telling me stay in my lane. You know, I'm hearing that, you know, nobody wants to hear anything but fishing content, which is great because I love fishing. So we're a match made in heaven. So the Ice Bowl, February 11th. Be there. Da, da, da. We're going to do 2 seminars that night. One by Brian Hammond, affectionately known as the Hammer. And one, Brian's going to be doing a seminar, a 30-minute seminar on ice fishing walleye on Oneida Lake. And Captain Nick Sokolowski from Soko Baits and Soko Guide Service is going to be doing a Oneida Lake perch and downsizing for walleye seminar. We're going to have 2 seminars. They're going to be about 30, 40 minutes each. We're going to have some Q&A time afterwards. This is going to be a 4 to 5 hour event, depending on how many people show up. We'll get into that next. And I have a meeting at 10 o'clock this morning at the Pier with a potential vendor for this event that I'm super, super, super excited about for a number of reasons. It's a local tackle shop. They are absolutely bursting at the seams with ice fishing tackle. And I'm trying to get a deal done with these guys to start that real working relationship and to put them in a position where they can bring their wares to the dedicated community that it is looking for them. So even though the ice fishing season hasn't went according to plan for all of us here in central New York or in all of the Northeast, really, we're going to make lemonade out of lemons. And so no different than last summer when my boat broke down and I started fishing off my jet ski because that's the only thing I had. What we're going to do is we're all going to get together, and I mean all of us. We're opening the doors. It's free admission. There's going to be vendors. Even if for some reason this one today doesn't work out, I already have other smaller individual vendors lined up. And it's ice fishing only. Look at me staying in my lane. Staying in my lane. That's got to be a big lane. So we're going to talk ice fishing. We're all going to get together. We're going to have some camaraderie and some social hour time. We're going to talk. We're going to learn. We're going to exchange ideas about ice fishing. And there's going to be a ton of great stuff there as an ice fisherman to buy. And this all, so we're going to talk about I got sidetracked by somebody saying Utica greens. I don't know. You tell a fat kid Utica greens, and he's like, huh? What? I talk about supporting local. I do my best always in everything I do. I'd rather go to a mom and pop restaurant than a chain. I'd rather go to an independent tackle shop than a chain. There's a lot of things, and this is going to be one of those things where we're going to try and support local. So everybody watching and everybody within the sound of my voice, what I'm asking of you guys, and this is not a lot, I don't think. After the double live event we did, I had a lot of people, even pretty close friends of mine, that are like, I didn't know anything about it. And I'm asking everybody out there to share the flyer that I put out yesterday on your social media and keep sharing it between now and the event. I'm going to come up with different flyers, hopefully every week, maybe sooner, depending if my editor-in-chief feels like doing it. And we are going to get the word out. Free admission, a great time. There's going to be raffles. I just got off the phone with Katie Jiggs last night. There's going to be door prizes for the first 100 people through the door. There's going to be a free, unique ice fishing door prize for the first 100 people. So you're not going to want to miss that. There's going to be a cash bar. There's going to be food. There's going to be tons of great stuff to look at and see and buy and touch and talk to the people that are doing the selling. And it's going to be a great evening for nothing else, for all of us to get together and have a beer and talk fishing, because that's how we stay in our lane. We stay in our lane. Okay. What's the capacity at the pier? Don Terry just asked, which is a great question. It's unlimited. We have a parking lot. It's not cold. At least it might not be. I don't know. There's going to be, my guess is, if I nail down this vendor today, chances are when you pull in, you're going to see shanties set up all around in the parking lot, just waiting for Butt to sit in it and to sit down in the seat and go, oh yeah, I could fish in this. This is nice. I need one of these. Because by the middle of February, we're going to be ice fishing. Period. End of story. We're going to be ice fishing. And we're still going to have a month left of ice fishing. So if you've held off all season on getting certain things, or maybe that big ticket purchase that you're looking for, that new Vexilar or underwater camera or or shanty or striker gear or that new jigging rod that you've had your eye on. There's going to be some cool stuff to see there. So I'm asking all you guys as a favor. I'm asking you guys for a favor. Help me share this and help people fill this place that night. And let's have a great fun time. Because pretty soon we're going to be talking Walleye Fest all the time, every day. You're going to, we have media for that. The Derby, everything. Like, that's going to take every moment of my life as soon as the Ice Bowl is over. It's already taken up a lot of it. And now it's going to take even more once the Ice Bowl's over. But right now, I'm staying in my lane and I'm focused like this. And I can see the Ice Bowl and I can see the place being packed. And I can see hundreds of guys there hanging out, being cool, talking to each other. And that sense of camaraderie that we have on here, in our comments and our little family. Well, I want our family to get bigger. And I want everybody out there that enjoys this content on a daily basis to just assume that this is going to be just as good a time as we all have every day. And I'll promise you on my end, I'm doing everything in my power to make sure that's the case. If I'm going to do something, it's going to be fun. Whether I'm personally doing it for the fun or whether I'm trying to put it together so we all have fun. That's my goal. My goal is to make and do fun things that we can all do together while staying in my lane and only talking about fishing. Okay? We simpatico? Show of hands. Who wants to help me out? Who out there, who of my family and my friends, who wants to help me out with this? Because by helping me, you're helping you. Help me help you. Help me help you. That's what we're going to do. And I am open the rest of the season, the rest of the year, for different kind of themed events. I know this isn't staying in my lane, fishing related, but like, what about come summertime? Does anybody remember clam bakes? Does anybody ever went to a Hinderwaddle's clam bake over in North Syracuse when they were still open? That place was amazing. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. What if we all did a summer clam bake and we all got together and did fun summer stuff and listened to music and played softball and ate clams and drank beer and did all kinds of cool stuff? Like, what about that? We got to start somewhere. And we're going to start with the Ice Bowl, and we're going to make it a lot of fun, and it's going to be a must-attend event. And I know there's some other stuff going on that day. I know that there is an ice tournament going on that day on the lake, and I hope everybody gets into it. I don't know what Ducks Unlimited chapter it is. I have seen the flyers down at Bucks and Bolts. They're the closest hardware store to this job that I'm doing in Sylvan Beach, and I've been up there quite a few times to get like one part that I had forgotten in the plumbing or whatever process. And I've seen the flyers down there. I saw a flyer the other day at Lakeside Outfitters when I was there, and I hope everybody supports that. I'm a member of Ducks Unlimited. I do. Matter of fact, my nephew is the president of the chapter in Northern New York up in Watertown. He will be there that day. And if anybody ever heard of the gun bash that they do, Ducks Unlimited does every year up at the Clayton Arena, man, they give away like 3,000 guns in an afternoon. There's a gun raffle going off like every minute or every 2 minutes or something like that. It's insane. He'll be there selling tickets for that. I go every year. I've never won anything yet. Anything, actually. But that doesn't mean I don't go and support. Ducks Unlimited is one of those groups. Great. I'm not staying in my lane. I'm sure there's a fishing tie-in with Ducks Unlimited somewhere. Their help habitat It helps waterfowl. And if waterfowl go to water, then that means it's clean enough for fish to swim in. So Ducks Unlimited is really helping us fishing. Haha, I stayed in my lane. I stayed in my lane. Stay in your lane, bro. So yeah, so I hope everybody is supporting that and doing that derby, and helping the DU chapter. I hope that is a no-brainer and everybody gets out and has fun. I had somebody else ask me yesterday, why'd you make it so late? It's funny. It's funny. The 25-year-old me, when I read that, that question went, late. It's 5 to 9, dude. I never used to even leave the house to go out for the evening until after 9. And now we look at 5 to 9 like it's late, which I get. Courtney will tell you that about the only time you'll get me to really leave the house after dark is in the summertime when it's nice and warm out. Other than that, usually by the time my butt hits the couch, sometime after dinner, that's about where it stays. Yeah. So I make to get to my point, stay in my lane. My point was I made it purposely so it was going to be after dark so that everybody who's ice fishing that day, which I'm assuming is going to be most everybody, it'll be me that morning, I can assure you, somewhere close, that everybody still has a chance to go fishing and then come to the ice show, as opposed to putting it in the middle of the day when I would have hundreds of people say to me, oh, well, I was fishing. I didn't want to stop fishing or not go fishing to come to a show about the fishing that I wasn't going to be able to do. So I made it at night. And listen, I mean, a lot of fun things are more fun after dark. You can go see a concert all you want during the daytime, and it could be great, but it's better at night because then you got the lights and all that fun stuff. So we are going to do this at night. And, when we did the double live, I did it in the morning because it worked out that we were going to do it New Year's Eve day. And I did it early in the morning. We did coffee and donuts, and we were more adult in our behavior. All right. We were a little more subdued. We sat and drank coffee. We had a donut. Wonderful. For this one, I wanted to feel more of an event, and we're going to go do something. And you want to bring your significant other? Great. You want to have a beer and walk around and look at cool stuff and talk to great people? Man, even better, So that's my thought process on the why. Okay. Why did we have it so late? And it's a Saturday night, so it's not a school night, so you don't have to worry about that. And Super Bowl Sunday doesn't even start till 6 or 7 most years. Now it's probably be like 9 o'clock kickoff now. Who knows? It'll be 3 o'clock in the morning before it's over. And how come the day after Super Bowl Sunday is, how come the day after Super Bowl Sunday isn't a national holiday? Because who wants to get up Monday morning after having a Super Bowl party Sunday night? At least our party, you got all morning the next day to recuperate, whether you're going to go fishing for a little while before the game starts, or whether you're going to just lay in bed and vegetate until people show up at your house for a Super Bowl party. So see how I'm thinking about you guys all the time. You guys are my primary concern. Jim G, do we need tickets to get into the Ice Bowl or just show up? Jim G, that is an absolute stellar question. Free admission. Free admission. Now, like I said earlier, I've already talked to Caddy Jigs. I have ordered 100 special, exclusive colored jigs from Caddy Jigs. I'm going to put them each in a little tiny baggie. I'm going to trick them out myself personally, and the first 100 people through the door are going to get a free one. Okay, that's number one. Admission's free. There are going to be raffles. There is going to be cash bar and food. What else? Uh, Door prizes, cash bar, food, vendors. We talked about vendors. There's going to be cool stuff there. There's going to be cool, new, awesome ice fishing stuff. And by the time we get to that show, we're still going to have plenty of ice season left, considering the way this year's went. I assume we're going to have a month of fishing left by the time we hit February 11th. So did I cover everything? Did I really emphasize how in this moment I really need everybody's help out there? I really need everybody's help to spread the word, because this is going to be fun. Period. End of story. It's going to be fun. I promise you, this will be the most fun you've ever had for free. Right? I mean, that I can keep that promise. Yeah, I can keep that promise. And I can stay in my lane. All right, let's get to comments here. We walked into Walmart one day, and Courtney and we had to return something. So we walked up to the customer service desk, and we waited in line. There was like two people in front of us, and the woman at customer service, you could just see everything about her was like she was not having a good day, and whoever in front of her was like giving her a hard time. And so I looked at Courtney and I go, watch this. She goes, no. She didn't even know what I was going to do, but she's like, no. Whatever you're going to do or thinking of, don't do. And I'm like, no, watch this. So I go, and I turn back around to her, and she looks up at me, makes eye contact, and I go, I'm having the same kind of day as you are. She looked at me like this. She goes, and I smiled back at her, and I was like, I got you, and all I wanted to do was make her smile, and you could tell she was not having it that day. And just something funny, just to make somebody smile for 5 seconds. And as soon as I did that, she couldn't have been, any nicer to us, but she couldn't have been nicer. And my hope was that when we left, she still stayed that way. Whatever was going on, we broke that cycle with just a little laugh. And that's one of my favorite jokes. The whole glasses sideways trick gets them every time. It's one of my favorites. So if you guys see me do it, just humor me. Laugh, ha, you're so funny. I am, but just, it's nice for you to say it to me. I'm kidding. Not really. All right. I told you guys to be ready with good questions. So you better be ready, because I'm going to start reading. Let's go through. Wow, there's a lot of questions here. Rumble seat. I love you, Bob. You're a funny man. Don Terry, Stephen Eddy, good morning. Gary Walters, Merlin Johnson, Mark Webb. It's funny. I say common first names with the last name, and then I just said Merlin's name with his last name, even though there's only one Merlin. There's two. There's Merlin Johnson and there's Merlin the Wizard. So unless Merlin all of a sudden is a wizard, I really can just call him Merlin. Be like Prince or Cher or whatever. So we're just going to go with Merlin. Stephen Eddy, stay in your lane. Who said that? That's not important. But I'm staying in my lane. Good morning, Matt. How's the ice? I already answered. I didn't answer that. I said I'd come back to it. The ice. So I've been telling you guys, I've been working on this bathroom job down in Sylvan Beach, which is down the east end of Oneida Lake. I live on the west end of Oneida Lake. So depending on what I have to do that morning, I either go out to Sylvan Beach via Route 49 along the North Shore or Route 31 along the South Shore. And this lake right now is like, so if any of you guys out there, have you ever asked your wife or girlfriend or a woman, hey, where would you like to go to dinner tonight? what would you like to have for dinner tonight? What kind of food would you like to have? And as we all know, the standard right from the woman manual, line number one is, oh, I don't care, whatever you want. They're as undecided as a creature could be that just has no idea what they could possibly want to eat. Oneida Lake is like that right now with ice. So Oneida Lake is us, and the ice is a woman. And it cannot make up its mind what it wants to do. One day it's there, the next day it's gone, and back and forth and back and forth. It's insane. And the days where, so if you drive down the North Shore on 49, as soon as you get east of Constantia, the road goes back along the lake close enough to where you can really monitor it the whole way out. And then you get into like Bernards Bay or Cleveland, and you're right there on the water. And I'll be a son of a gun. Everything from the east of, so between Constantia and Bernards Bay going east, man, up until yesterday. Now, yesterday morning when I went out, it was wide open. Yesterday coming back, it wasn't as wide open. And it looks like when you look across to the South Shore, it's just as wide open. Now, I came yesterday morning, I went out 31, and by the time you got past Lakeport, you could start seeing where Canaseraga comes in. It's got all of Lakeport Bay in close opened up, but then there was ice, and then you could see open water beyond that. So this lake can't make up its mind for anything. Now, is there some safe ice out there? I'm sure there is. And if you find it, be very careful and be respectful, because ice and freezing water have no remorse. They will take you in a split second before you even realize what's going on. So how's the ice today? It's the same as it's been here for a week or two, and that is, it's a wait and see, or to go look and find out, but do it cautiously. Rumble Seat, really appreciate the advanced warning. So I put up a post this morning on both my Facebook pages, The Awakening Angler and my personal page, that we were going to go live at 8:30. I'll do my best, because I know a lot of people say, I never know when it's going on. I'll do my best to let everybody know going forward when we're going to go. Nikolai, good morning. Merlin asked the question, do you believe that simplifying your tackle choices rather than bringing the full assortment? I'm firmly on both sides of that, because anybody that's fished with me in my boat, I have a giant rolling black tote from Home Depot that is my tackle box, and I have it filled with almost everything I own most days when I go out in the water. In years past, especially when I was steelhead fishing for myself, I would do as simple as possible so I didn't have to carry anything. In those days, I might carry a fly box, a spool of leader, and maybe a couple split shot, and that would be about it, and that would be all I needed. Nowadays, though, and nowadays too, I'm carrying camera equipment. I mean, again, everybody that knows me and that's been with me, they know the camouflage camera bag. And it now it's to the point where A, I need a bigger bag, and B, it feels like it weighs about 60 pounds. And that's just camera equipment and sound equipment and tripods and all that stuff. And that's not to mention, if I am with somebody else that I'm using my bag, then I got to bring whatever tackle and rods and stuff I'm using. It can be a production, and I try to simplify my life as best I can, but there are things that nowadays I can't go fishing without, because I don't really just go fishing to go fishing anymore. It's always with a purpose, which is wonderful, but it changes how and what I bring. So I like simplification. I just have not been able to achieve it lately. Just Paul, there's more to life than fishing. No, there's not. Stay in your lane, bro. Bathroom job finishing up. Yeah, I finished the tile. Took me 7 days. Sorry, that's not fishing related. What's capacity at the pier? We talked about that. I think it's in the 300 range, and so I'd like to do like double or triple that, and people can come and go as they please. You're not buying a ticket. You're not locked into staying for any amount of time, and I want everybody. I would rather it be such a mob scene that we can't see straight than, doing all this for 5 people. So come one, come all, please. Mark Webb, Sun has hockey games. We'll be coming in hot and late. Well, good luck to his hockey team. Uh-oh. I lost my place. Jim G, do we need tickets to get into the Ice Bowl or just show up? Nope, free admission. Come on in. First 100 people are going to get a special prize, though, that the rest of everybody won't. So my suggestion is that there should be a line waiting in front of the pier at 5 a.m. when we open, or 5 p.m. Sorry, not 5 a.m. I'd be up, but I don't think anybody else will. So keep that in mind. Don Terry, a lot of snow is trouble for the ice. We do have. I'm hoping we don't get much. Yeah. I agreed. Eric, good morning, buddy. George Parson, good morning. Raffle prizes. Sure, if anybody has raffle prizes they would like to donate, I would love it. I would love it. I would love it. The only thing I will say is if you are going to donate to me for the raffle, make sure you have some sort of advertisement for whatever it is you're donating. Your company, what you do, all that stuff. So Matt is going to be wearing a shoe for a hat in a second. No, Courtney loves me. And she's probably not that good of a shot either, so I stand a chance. Courtney, are you listening to this crap? Rumbleseed, whose side are you on? Really? Good idea, Mark. No, it's not. Scott the God. Good morning, buddy. You know you're going to explain those comments to your wife later. Good luck. She loves me. I just keep telling myself that. And if she's watching, she'll keep hearing it. And she'll be like, oh, I really do love him. So I guess he's just incredibly funny and I'm so lucky. I'm assuming that's what she's going to say. When was the last time you went fishing without the camera? It's been a couple years now. I don't know. That's a great question. Yeah, it's been a couple years. If you ever need a photographer or videographer for any events, let me know. Okay. I need one. You're hired. For free. Scott Duranda, good morning, buddy. Matt, are you having breakout sessions? Are you having breakout sessions by local anglers discussing tactics? Kevin, say more about that. I'm not sure what you mean, but I'm interested. So put more in there. Dominic, where is the event going to be? It is going to be at the pier in Central Square. So if you're coming into Brewerton on Route 11, if you're coming from the north, you would come down Route 11 south. Just before you hit the bridge coming south to go over the river, you make a right on County Route 37, and it takes you over just before the railroad tracks. You make a left. It's right behind the It's right behind the historical site there. What's that? The Block House down on the corner. If you're coming from the south, you cross the Route 11 bridge, going across the river. You come to the light where the waterfront's on the right. You make a left and then a left. Can't miss it. I'll have signs, or I'll do something. I'll have some kind of signage up on the road so everybody knows where it is. What is the best live bait for ice fishing? Minnow heads. And you don't have to worry about keeping them alive. And you can use whole live minnows, obviously. Or I've always been a big fan of spikes when perch fishing. Although usually I would only use the spike to catch that first perch, and then I pop an eye out and use a perch eye, a real perch eye. All those Soko baits will be at this event, and Nick, he's come up with a really cool plastic perch eye with the reflective eye inside it, and they glow, or they're UV, and I use them a lot too nowadays, way more than I do popping the eye out of a perch, but I'll go both ways on that. And I am a huge fan and believer of in perch eyes, real or fake. So that's a great question though. Can give you some gift certificates to raffle off or a print. I would love that. I would love that. Love that. You got anybody that wants to donate for the raffle, please get a hold of me offline on either Instagram or Facebook Messenger. You can DM me privately and we can talk about it. Would love that. Kevin Stone. So he did say here, referring to having mini seminars of sorts. Not necessarily that I'm going to organize. We have two title seminars, and obviously, if anybody wants to get into groups while they're there and talk amongst themselves about certain things, that's great. I would encourage that. We have such a good group of people here that I know for a fact everybody will enjoy talking to each other, so Scott Duranda, my girls and I did good on the Soko eyes yesterday. Yeah, I have. I probably got to get with Nick and get a couple more packs of. He's got a couple new colors, I believe, but that glow blue one, oddly enough, in years past has been my best. But that's just my experience. Where were you, Scott? Where were you fishing yesterday? Were you fishing on Oneida somewhere? How do you search and stay on fish when on the ice? Well, that's the same thing, Scott, as in open water. It depends on the individual. Typically when we launch the boat and we go someplace, as you're launching the boat or even before, you already know where you're going to go start. And that's just that. It's a start. And depending on your day and how much time you have and how invested you are in your own success, you may pick one spot and really, really cover it. Or, you may jump around from spot A and then go a mile to spot B and so on and so forth. On the ice, it's a little different. For most guys, I think it's safe to say, for most guys that ice fish, they're not motorized. They don't have a wheeler or a snow dog or a snowmobile. So they're walking. And I guess when you're walking, that makes it even more critical to really pre-pick your spot, because now you're putting all your eggs in one smaller basket. Right now, when any place around here where the ice is thin, even if you're hand drilling, you can pop holes pretty quick with minimal effort. It doesn't take long for sharp blades to zip through 5-6 inches of ice. But there again, if you're walking, you're limited to how far you're going to go. I mean, your buddy can call you with a hot bite down off Lewis Point, and you're you're down here in the West End. You'd have to, hey, Mila, whatever you're doing, stop it. Bad dog. Hey, I just said stop it. Now come over here. Come here. Come here. She's digging in the carpet like she's digging up a dinosaur bone. That's a bad doggy. Yeah, so I like a camera too. When I am popping holes, I'll put the camera right down there immediately. I'm looking for what the bottom looks like. Of course, you're looking for fish always. But I want to see what's going on. And the camera is probably more important if you're fishing any kind of weed cover, because then you got to drill enough holes to find a pocket. You know, like if you're in Big Bay, for instance. I don't know if everybody in Big Bay fishes with a camera, but when I fish Big Bay, I have my camera with me because I don't want to be sitting right on top of a weed stalk that comes right to the surface and you can't get a jig down, and the only way you're going to know that is to look. I suppose you could do one of these over the hole and in the right conditions, you can see right down there and you're sight fishing to them, which is a lot of fun as well. I used to do that with perch. But so for me too, I don't have a flip over right now. My shanty's a hub, and the only downside of those hubs, if you're on them and you've been on fish, or you're on a piece of structure and you got multiple guys fishing with you, or if you're filming and you need that extra room, hubs are great. But if you're trying to run and gun, I'm not setting that hub up more than once. I mean, I'm just not. If you pick the wrong spot, maybe I would take it down and put it back up once, but I'd have to have help and I'd have to really want to. So picking your first spot, I think, is the most critical part of ice fishing. And then figuring out your spot within a spot, as long as you're in an area where there's fish. So it's hard to say that beforehand, but Scott said he was on a NIDA for the first time. Oh, good for you. Good for you. Anyone been on Big Bay? I know they have. Kevin, if you want to ask Eric Wisniewski, I know Eric is a panfish head, and I know he's been in Big Bay, although I hear that the shorelines are opened up. I don't know that for sure. I haven't been over there. So, all right. What a great morning. I don't even know what day today is. Today's hump day, right? Yeah, Wednesday. All right. I'm going to see all you guys soon, tomorrow. Hopefully I have a big announcement for a major vendor for the Ice Bowl. I believe that this meeting is going to go well. I'm super excited to work with this group, and I'm excited. So I'll leave everybody with the same thing. I need your help. Go to my Facebook page, my Instagram page, and you'll see the flyer I put up that we made for the Ice Bowl. And please start sharing it. Make sure all of your friends know it's free admission. There's tons of cool stuff, cash bar, food, door prizes, raffles. So don't be somebody that after the fact goes, "Oh, I never heard about it." Let's tell everybody we know, and let's keep telling them. We got 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks before Super Bowl weekend, and we're going to be talking about it a lot between now and then, because I really want to make this fantastic for everybody involved. I want my vendors and my seminar guys to be well receptive and be able to talk to a full packed Intuit crowd. I want my vendors to make money. And then we're just laying the groundwork for Walleye Fest, which is coming this spring. All right. I stayed in my lane all day long. I didn't talk about the SU game last night. I'm not going to talk about the NFL, even though I like both those things. The game last night hurt a little bit right here in the old ticker. But I stayed in my lane. Dun, dun, dun. Thanks, everybody. I want you all to have a great. Okay, Eric Wisniewski just chimed in about Big Bay. Shoreline was toast on Sunday, and no freezing since. Can't imagine it's any better. Yeah. 30 degrees out. It's going to be in that 30 range. I gotta wonder. I haven't looked it up, but I wonder if this is the warmest January on record ever. And as far as I wonder if this is the least amount of snowfall ever on record for a January, at least here in Syracuse. I know that the naysayer, the doomsayers of the modern meteorological society now, everybody's, they want the names, when it snows, and give it a name like a hurricane. It's snow. We live in upstate New York. Get over it. All right. Thanks, everybody. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same bat channel. I don't know about time, but be about the same time. And we'll take it from there. Thanks, everybody. Love you guys. Keep your tip.